If the world ever saw the real historical Jesus, the entire system many believe in would collapse. What if I told you the figure you know as Jesus Christ is a heavily edited, politically motivated version of the real man who walked the earth 2,000 years ago? Let's dive into the evidence the church doesn't want you to see. First, let's look at the earliest sources. When you strip away centuries of additions, you find descriptions of a very human teacher, a radical Jewish reformer. The later, perfected portrait of a divine being, crafted over time, served a specific purpose. But which parts of the original history were intentionally erased to create this new image? The answer is shocking. So, what was Jesus' true mission? Was he trying to start a new religion called Christianity? Or was he on a collision course with the entire political and religious system of his day? The evidence suggests he wasn't planning to build a church at all. His most dangerous teachings, those that challenged power and wealth, were systematically softened or hidden. Why? Because a revolutionary is much harder to control than a deity. You might be surprised to learn that early Christian groups had wildly different ideas about who Jesus was. To some, he was a wise human philosopher, nothing more. To others, he was a pure spirit who only appeared to have a physical body. Some groups understood his mission in ways that would be unrecognizable to modern Christians. These diverse beliefs weren't just friendly disagreements. They were competing versions of Jesus, and a battle was waged to decide which one would become official. History, as they say, is written by the victors. But what about the teachings that were lost? Traces of them survive in ancient texts that were deliberately excluded from the Bible, like the Gnostic Gospels. These texts speak of inner enlightenment, of finding the divine spark within yourself, not in an institution. They contain hints of concepts like reincarnation and a profound respect for the divine feminine and sacred feminine wisdom. Why were these powerful themes systematically removed? Perhaps because they empower the individual, making external authority less necessary. The roles of those closest to Jesus were also dramatically rewritten. Take Mary Magdalene. Some suppressed texts, like the Gospel of Mary, portray her not as a repentant sinner, but as the leading disciple, the one who understood Jesus' deepest teachings. This created intense rivalry among the male apostles, especially Peter. Why were her contributions, and those of other close followers, silenced? It seems the new church hierarchy had little room for powerful women. And here's the biggest piece of the puzzle: the Roman Empire. After persecuting Christians for centuries, Rome adopted the faith and reshaped it for political control. Jesus' identity was adjusted to support imperial ideology. A state-approved, sanitized version of Jesus replaced the complex, rebellious figure from the original stories. What we have today is, in many ways, a product of Roman marketing. Even the texts we do have are filled with contradictions. There are different accounts of his birth, his teachings, and his death. Old manuscripts show alternate stories and reveal verses that were added or removed centuries later to fit a specific theological agenda. The story wasn't just told, it was actively molded. So why is this question still so feared today? Because discovering the real Jesus could fundamentally reshape modern Christianity. It challenges 2 millennia of doctrine and authority. Most churches avoid this topic entirely because asking these questions is seen as dangerous. But the truth, no matter how disruptive, is always worth seeking. Thanks for watching. If this blew your mind, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because we're just getting started.